morning. Bills Mafia. What's new? Not the results from last night. I'll tell you that much. Windy outside. Sorry if you hear some shit banging into the walls. Guess the gods are maybe as angry as I am. Maybe as angry as you are. And this is just a little cornered event right now. So let's just start, man. I'm going to say a bunch of the shit that I've been saying in my head since last night. My daughter heard a little earful of it. I'll start there with that. During the game, and now this is, just bear with me, alright? I don't care if you fucking watch this or not, if you're listening, I don't care. This is just my corner to vent and bitch and moan a little bit, but I won't waste the entire episode here doing that, however long this is going to be, I can't even promise you. But what I can say is that I wish Bills Mafia can temper expectations, be a little more humble. I do believe in some superstitious shit. I do kind of go that way a little bit for my own personal reasons, though. Not really that I believe that the game is influenced by our jinxing bullshit and all that, but really just it comes right down to stop talking shit and hanging Kermit the Frog puppets and everything before every fucking time we play this team in the playoffs. Not for, it's going to jinx it, just because you look like a fucking idiot every time, year after year after year. So just knock that off, please. I love you, Bills Mafia. Cut it out with that shit. But moving on to more tangible things, my daughter last night during the game is talking trash about the players and different things. And going, Kermit the Frog. She thinks it's hilarious, right? So she's going on about that. But she launches more into, she's got some social media access and different things and friends at school. Everybody talking that the refs are bought off and paid for. The Kansas City cheats. And I had to explain to her, when I mentioned the play from last week against the Ravens that was very likely an OPI on Coleman. There was some back and forth. There were contact on both sides, but it was called a defensive pass interference, set us up on the goal line. That was a favorable call for the Bills. I think it was. I think it could have been called either way, I guess. But if I'm being honest, it was probably leaning more toward an OPI, and yet we got the call. So you're happy about it. But as I explained to my daughter, I told her there's going to be favorable calls on both sides. The Bills will get favorable calls, and the Chiefs obviously will. But in order to win a game, you have to play. The better team will win. If you play well enough, there's no excuses. You have to overcome the flags. They have to play through all that. You score every damn time you got the ball. They can't take every one of them off the board. You're going to win. So I have to believe in that, I told her, because if I believe what you're saying about the it's all controlled and bought and paid for ahead of time, then there's no fucking point in watching. So I have to believe that just to enjoy the sport. But that said, it's fucking hard to deny because we'll open up there. That was a first down. It was a first down that they handed to the Chiefs. Bills first down. Here you go, Pat. And those were the winning points they put up on the board. Spagnuolo called a fantastic surprise blitz off the corner to make Josh force that ball, which you can say Kincaid should have come up with that. Now his catch percentage did go from a 83 I think last year to a 58 this year, somewhere around there. So there's been a drop off, and maybe some people are calling him a disappointment. Look, second year sophomore slump you can chalk it up to. I don't know if they usually apply that to tight ends or just a quarterback thing, but either way. I think Kincaid's going to step up, and this moment's going to live in his head a little bit, and he's going to want redemption, and he's going to play his ass off and be a very solid piece for the Bills next year. So we have that to look forward to. But point is, Allen shouldn't have been in that position to make that throw last night because they had the first down, clearly. And I want to go one step further than that one. I don't see anyone talking about right now. I'm sure plenty of people are, but I'm also kind of snuffing out some football talk today. I don't give a shit. Last thing I want to do is listen to the Chiefs and Eagles. So I don't hear many people talking about the blatant incompletion. And it's not like, oh, it happened fast, they got to the line and ran another play. That kind of thing. McDermott rightfully challenged it, talking close to the end of the first half. That was an interception that, I believe it was Cole Bishop, put on the ground. The ball hit the ground. It hit the ground so fucking clearly that in review, I mean, you can see dirt kick up from the ball hitting the ground. Clearly incomplete. This is football rules 101. The ball cannot hit the ground. So, it's hard to turn around and see those things and then tell my daughter, no, it's not bought and paid for. The league doesn't care about Taylor Swift and the billions of dollars that she's helping to bring in. No, they don't care. Yeah. Tough to say. Excuse me. But, I'm not going to use this whole podcast here. What's it been, 6 minutes now? And I'm still I'm going on. I haven't talked about shit but the refs, really. It needs to be mentioned. It's absolutely fucking atrocious, and it's disgusting, and it's killing the sport. I mean, one can argue that gambling and the refs have been paid off since the fucking 1980s. Sure, you can talk about it, but when it's that clear, it's hard to deny. And don't have much else for you on that front, Bills Mafia. I know you're pissed off, just like me. But let's go ahead and unless you're gonna really boycott the league, stop watching the Bills. If that's the only other option, then I guess we need to just get into and talk about what actually went wrong with the Bills and why they lost this game, which I do not want to fucking talk about, but I do. Let's gradually drift into the offseason here. This podcast, and I didn't even fucking introduce anything. I am Bill Mullane. This is the DFL podcast. I'm not joined by Dr. Chucky Calzone or Coach Tommy Snakes today. They're not feeling it, man. They're not feeling it, and I don't blame them. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Don't comment, I don't care. But like and subscribe. And subscribe to the podcast. And, this is going to be changing. You're going to want to stay in tune for what's going to be coming throughout the offseason as we dissect things that are going on, moves. The draft is going to be huge. We're going to be here for all of it and bringing you a new kind of format. We're figuring all that out, so you're going to want to stay tuned. So subscribe. That said, let's talk about what went wrong. One thing. First drive. Allen came out looking jittery as shit. He's played all year with a calmness and a poise. Looks like the pressure's off. And he played looking jittery and nervous. I don't blame him. I feel like we got it out within the first quarter. That was pretty much gone. And that wasn't the whole game killer or anything. But he didn't come out looking great. And I did wonder at some point, with all the pressure off from Diggs being gone, and Josh is free to throw to the open man, as we all know. I feel like, did he have a little bit in his head that he has to justify this draft pick to feed the ball to Coleman because Worthy's on the other side making plays? Did he start to feel that a little bit? Because there were a few throws, and I understand that Coleman was drafted to go up and make those contested throws, to get those jump balls. I get it. But a couple of times plus it felt like at the end of the game, Mahomes runs in that touchdown from the 7 or whatever it was. We have the ball. We're down in the same situation. And Allen tries to take it very similar. And I feel like, is this in Allen's head of like, I got to keep up with this guy. I got to justify this receiver. Yeah. That's speculation. And I absolutely 100% am not putting the loss on Allen. He's clearly our best player. He really played a good game. So, all in all, I know he's kicking himself over like his drop fumble that he didn't even lose, but he took him from a 2nd and 6 to a 3rd and 9 or whatever, Yeah, and he can go back and chew and beat himself up for all that, but clearly, Josh Allen's fine. I do feel like maybe he was a little in his head this game, but I'm not out there, so I'm not going to talk shit about that. What I will go on about, though, and just rant a little bit about now. Well, I'm not ranting. I'm done. I thought I was going to sit here and get real fucking angry and swearing up a storm and screaming at you about the refs and the bullshit. I think I got that out of my system a little there. I've already done some of that yelling all morning by myself. So why bother? You don't need to hear it. You know. So let's move on, and we're talking a little bit about what needs to be adjusted. So first thing that stands out, because I don't think the Chiefs played that great of a game. Now, I know that sounds like, oh, look at this guy. He's just trying to, I don't know, whatever. But what did they do on offense? The vast portion of their yards, the biggest chunks of yards they got were going after Kaiir Elam after Benford went down. So, cornerback depth. That's the first thing that needs to be addressed. First thing. Then we can stay on defense and look at our pass rush. I think Rousseau was a phenomenal player. Von Miller another year, though, next year. He wasn't a super impact player in this game. Ed Oliver showed up and did his thing for the most part. Maybe you would like to see him get more pressure, but our defensive tackles really, was it Jordan Phillips picking up and carrying the center? I can't say that our line was very bad at all. Do we want some more depth there, a little more size there? Sure. We can go for more size on the defensive line. I definitely would like to see a pass rusher drafted. Not because I think Miller necessarily fell off that much, but let's face it, the guy's 35 years old. And damn near my age. I understand. So staying on defense, we may also need to be looking into safety help. Now, I'm not bringing you anything that you don't know, so I'm brushing over these things, people. Okay, I'm wrapping up this podcast for the year. For the next, probably not going to have another one for you till we're nearing the draft. We're going to take some time and organize and figure out exactly how we're going to approach next season, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. So this is just wrapping things up, going over, venting, and then I'll leave you alone. So defense, cornerback depth, and an extra pass rusher, and maybe some safety help. These things need to be addressed. Linebackers, I think, are fine. Milano, Bernard, guys we got there, and replacement level players we have at that position group as well. But on the other side of the ball, I don't think we go after a number one receiver or of any kind there. I mean, I wouldn't say no to a Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson guy. I mean, you can't say no to that. Same time, we had a clear wide receiver one for a while, and it didn't entirely work out. I think we're better with the wide receiver by committee approach. And, I wouldn't mind, though, seeing a little more help there. Now, Cooper, you don't throw Cooper the ball at 3rd and 10 expecting him to get massive yards after catch. At the end of the game on the line, 3rd and 10, you throw Cooper a screen? I didn't understand that move. I'm not going to sit here and chew out Joe Brady. Certainly not going to chew out Amari Cooper. But he is an aging player. Are we going to re-sign him? I don't know. We're going to re-sign Matt Collins after that game? I say. I mean, all year he's been just obviously a big mental aspect of how this team even got that far. And some of those plays, I mean, he was the Gabe Davis replacement. Now let's hope he ends up better than Gabe Davis. But for the Bills, it's hard. This is hard. This is a hard podcast to do, man. This is a hard one. I had some notes taken down of what I want to talk about. I couldn't really write them. I don't want to talk about anything. I want to talk about the Bills going to the first Super Bowl appearance in 31 years. That's what I want to talk about. But maybe next year, Buffalo. So, moving on, though. Running back room is fantastic. I don't see any reason for any changes there. We're talking, I think Kincaid takes a huge step in his 3rd year. So, I'm going to say it's wide receiver, a little bit of help at wide receiver, and then massive help on defense, cornerback room. Why, and I don't want to say, one of the reasons I didn't want to do this is just because I feel the clear problem last night was Kaiir Elam. And I don't want to put that on one player. I hate that. Now, I don't think Kaiir Elam's going to put on this podcast and cry, but, and I don't think it's anything he doesn't know. And I don't like talking about this, but that guy fucking sucks. He sucks. He sucks. And it's disappointing because they were in the playoffs. He had to step in the last few years a couple times against Kansas City and intercepted Mahomes in the end zone the one year. Remember that? But I understand when he first came in, playing so far off his man, and I get playing off a guy and protecting the deeper pass and all of this, but there's got to be, you need someone that can keep up. You need someone that knows how to cover. How is this guy a cornerback and can't fucking cover anybody? He's out there falling down, leaving guys wide open. And in Benford, it's not like this was a real surprise injury. So Kyrie Elam had to be ready to go all week, right? How is he that poor? And what a bust, man. And I'm sure he's going to go to another team and he's going to light it up probably. Whatever it is here, the scheme we play, all the zone defense, he's better in man coverage. They don't look like it last night. He couldn't stay anywhere near a dude. So, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. He had all week to practice. I think you dump Kyrie Elam. See what you can get for him and trade. I don't know. We're going to dissect all that as we get deeper into the offseason here, people. But, yeah, Elam was a massive reason why we lost. The refs. And I feel there's a little pressure. The pressure on Allen. He knows he could have made some better plays. I'm not putting it on him, but yeah, there's something that could have been done there. I don't think McDermott's a talking point out of this one. I've heard some people already on the little bits that I've listened to on the radio, guys calling in, talking about, well, the defensive-minded head coach. Look, I'm probably getting close to wrapping this up. The Bills are out, so what else is there to talk about? We'll move on and talk about how to get better going forward. There's one thing you'll understand about me is I am typically, this is a rare one for me. I'm not usually the kind of guys who come on here and fucking yell and scream at you. I'm a very positive guy. Yeah, like you believe that now. But I'm not going to sit here and whine and cry and just tear apart the team or anything like that, man. We are, the point is I want to end this on a positive note. And not that I'm quite done yet, but probably getting close. And the positive thing is, fucking think about it, man. We weren't even supposed to be here, right? This team wasn't even supposed to get here. And the only reason I think it hurts at all so much is because of the team that it happened with. Losing to the Chiefs is just, it's so gut-wrenching at this point. I'm not watching the Super Bowl. Oh, let's boycott, people. I didn't watch last year, and I got an email from Patrick Mahomes crying, asking me, well, why didn't you watch me in the Super Bowl? Don't you want to see my... No, I told him. I wrote him back. I said, I don't like your fucking face. You know, I'll be like, I don't know. I used to hear all that shit because the Bills let Kansas City draft him when we traded him the pick in 2017. And I've heard people go, well, you wish you had him. No, I don't. Yeah, sure, he's got all the accolades and hardware. Great, good for him. But I'd be fucking embarrassed if that guy was my quarterback. Prancing down the field. Alright, look, I realize I sound like a fucking hater. And it's true, I am hating him. But, whatever. Move on, people. Look, I gotta make myself laugh a little bit here. Alright? I don't like that team. And I love the Bills. And I'm sad. And I'm gonna shut this podcast off and I'm gonna cry. And, yeah, that's the end of that. And maybe get some other work done here today, drown myself in something. But we're moving on, people. It was a fantastic year. McDermott led us to the AFC Championship. I mean, we were 3 points away from the Super Bowl with a team that people thought were going to be, at best, third place in our division. So, can we really cry? I guess my problem comes in more as I never expected that. Chucky, on the first episode of the podcast, says he expected the offense to take a step back. He wasn't alone. A lot of people expected the offense to take a step back. I didn't. Am I eternally optimistic? Yeah, I guess I am often. But it wasn't just blind optimism. I just felt like all last year there was a weird vibe between Josh and Stephon Diggs. So when him gone, I had a feeling like, oh, that's going to free up Josh. Now let's just see how the room can do. And within the first 3 weeks, yeah, felt great. Then it became apparent we could use another guy. Go out and you get Amari Cooper. Beautiful. And I thought that this is all we need. And they continued. Proved everybody wrong the whole season. God, you know what makes me so upset too is that fucking Kelsey clap. You know, when he gave his little... When we won the regular season Week 11 game. And he's fucking justified in it now. Oh, that's like a dagger. I so badly wanted to see him eat that fucking sarcastic fucking clap, man. Go run home crying with your little billionaire pop star wife. Go talk to your brother on your shitty little show. All right, people. Again, I'm venting here. That's what this is for. If you're watching this, I hope that's what you're looking for. Somebody to fucking vent. Because, we're frustrated, man. We're frustrated. And I didn't even expect them to get this far. I thought we were going to be fine this year. And it was just the better we got throughout the year that just built the hopes up higher and higher and higher. Just to fucking shove us right down into the goddamn dirt. Excuse my language, people. But that was frustrating, man. That's frustrating. I mean, and literally during the beginning of the fourth quarter, I just said in my head, like, it can't, like, right? Like, just law of averages, like, this can't happen like that, right? They're not going to lose this game. No, they ain't going to lose it, man. They're not. Come on, let's go. Sitting there. Come on, D. Well, I think that's where I'll end this. Didn't work out. But hey, people, look, we're entering the off season. I do podcasting though. I do more than this show. I run a podcast called The Bill Mullane Show that is starting season 2 on February 7th. The first episode of that will be dropped. So I'm going to leave a link in the description. Go ahead and check it out. There's one or two out there that said, you know, this guy, I'll listen to him talk about something other than football. Then go ahead and click on that link and subscribe to The Bill Mullane Show. Or if you love horror stories, you're going to want to be subscribed to The Bill Mullane Show as well to keep an eye out for Brothers Macabre, which is our all-audio horror storytelling podcast that I'm doing with my brother there. So that's a lot of fun. Go ahead and follow. Look for the links in the description. I'll get them in there somewhere. And that's what we're going to be focusing on. Getting our minds off of football for a little bit here. Like I said, April comes around. The draft lands on my birthday. And Josh Allen was drafted 4 hours before my birthday. You know, I don't know if that means anything. You go ahead in the comments. Tell me. Does it mean something? So look forward to the draft content that I'm sure we will be coming up with. But before then, this podcast is taking a little bit of a hiatus. It's going to retool, come back to you as the Bills Mafia Podcast. And, that's going to be a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun last season. I know it doesn't sound like it right now, though. Oh, is it going to be fun? Is it going to be fun watching you sit there and bitch and moan and whine about the Bills again? Yeah, come on. Come on, you've been dealing with this team by yourself for long enough. Crying with your friends and family. Come listen to me and my friends and family cry about it. Come on, join us. Let me know in the comments what you think we should attack in the draft or free agency or anything. What you think the Bills really need to do. I mean, is it just that obvious? Is it just cornerback depth, little pass rush help, another receiver, give Allen another weapon or two? Is it little stuff like that? Or is there something bigger? Do you think it is coaching? I can't put this one on coaching. I mean, what else can you do? McDermott throws the challenge flag. He might as well have just wiped his ass with it because it didn't fucking matter. Because apparently the ball can hit the ground now and be considered a catch. As long as you're wearing red, I guess. Maybe we should have worn our red jerseys. All right, anyway. Non-contact. Listen, people. I love you. I love the Bills. I'm heartbroken now, but we'll get through this together. And like I said, check the description for the links. I don't know what else to say, man. I think I'm done pissing and moaning. It's a sad exit once again. But onward and upward, folks. Stay positive. And it's been a fun year for Chucky Calzones and Tommy Snakes. I'm Bill Mullane. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And subscribe. Keep an eye out for new content as it comes. And boycott the Super Bowl. You should do that. You should really do that. I'm not watching it. Go ahead, join me. Don't watch it. And of course, one more time. Let's go, Buffalo! I remember Buffalo.
Hey, listen, a great example, right? Of when your number's called, being ready.
DFL Football 25.